Nano, and welcome to the Nerd Theorist and another thrilling episode of Tip Top 2 Minute Terrain. I know what you're thinking, you want some dry stone walls, but you don't want to spend money on expensive XPS foam, and you don't have the skills anyway. Don't worry my loves, I got you covered. Okay, grab your Lego. What you want to do is build a mould, basically. 3 bricks high would be just the right height for your standard Kings of War, Warhammer, war game miniatures. And you want to build as long a wall as you want. You build this as big as you want your wall, basically. You can do corners, you can do all sorts, but for this I'm just doing a basic straight line. You want all the bricks interlocking. You don't want singles, because once you've finished it, you're then going to take the bottom bit off. The bottom bit's there just to build it on. You want the bottom bit off because you want to be able to access the top and the bottom of the mould. Then you want some shiny plastic. I chopped up the box that my daughter's Barbie came in. Any sort of shiny plastic, the lid off a Rose's tub or ice cream or whatever, as long as it's shiny, because you're using PVA glue, and PVA glue doesn't stick to shiny plastic, so you don't want it to stick to this. You then want a bag of aquarium gravel. I got this one from eBay for £2. You can get it from your local pet shop, you can get it dirt cheap. You want the small ones, sort of 1 to 5mm size pebbles, and some cheap pound shop PVA glue. Spoon in your pebbles into your mould so you know how many you need. Once you've got the right amount, pop it in a bowl, stick your PVA glue on, and then mix it together until you've got a bowl full of tacky pebbles. You don't want it soaked in PVA, but you want it enough to stick, and then spoon it into your mould. Set this to one side for roughly 24 hours and you will find that the pebbles are then glued together. However, that's only the top layer. The underneath will still be wet. So what you want to do is put another piece of plastic on top, carefully flick the bugger over, and then take the plastic off the bottom. So then the air can get to the other bricks, the other pebbles, and then leave it for another 24 hours. After 48 hours-ish, depending on the temperature of your room, you should be left with something like this. Now you'll notice that mine is a battle damage wall because I didn't wait 48 hours because I'm impatient and some of it fell off. That's up to you. But like I say, I mean, it's a war zone. It's going to be battle damaged. Then you want a nice piece of firm card just to use as a base and glue it on. There will be a few little nooks and crannies that might need filling in, and what I've done here is I've just glued some individual pebbles into the gaps with some super glue. Give it a couple of minutes for super glue to dry, and then you can baste. Now, to keep this one cheap, I've just covered the card in PVA glue from the pound shop and dusted it with beach sand, which seems to do the job. And then when the PVA dry is glue, no, that's the wrong way around, but you get what I'm saying. You just need to paint it. Again, I didn't wait, I did it with a hairdryer. Now it's ready to paint. I primed this one with some white Citadel paint, but to be honest, completely pointless. The paint will go on it just fine. I don't know why I did it, it was a waste of time and effort. What I've done is painted the sand brown, which again was unnecessary if I hadn't have primed it because the sand was the right colour anyway. And then painted the rocks in a dark grey. After about 20 minutes this was dry, and I then dry brushed the rocks with a slightly lighter grey to bring out some of the definition. Then I followed that with an even lighter grey, and then a combination of 2 different greens to give it a sort of mossy, lichenous feel, just to bring out a few details. And then I stopped recording and went over it in Nuln Oil, because that fixes everything. And if you would like to stop there and just leave the floor muddy, that's absolutely acceptable, but I've got loads of these little sticky grass tufts and plants, so I went to town making it look all pretty and meadow-ish, because this is all for the big farm tabletop battle that me and Tom are going to be having. So yeah, that's it. And that is another one in the bag, and this one I think is my favourite. Like I say, lots of people do dry stone walls with foam. I just can't get to grips with it, and that XPS stuff is getting really expensive. This was dirt cheap. The pebbles were a couple of quid, and PVA glue was the pound shop, and I already had the Lego. So there we are. Please like and subscribe. If you're enjoying our tip-top terrain in 2 minutes, or tip-top 2-minute terrain, however you want to say it, without buggering it up and saying tits by accident, the next episode will be a field, a ploughed field. Look forward to that one. Ta-ta.